Thanks everyone for joining us today. Before we get into it, just wanted to do some brief introductions. My name is Alli Hogan, and I'm a business intelligence and analytics consultant here at Thorogood. I have my colleague Scott with me in the room here, and we're joining today from our Philadelphia office. You can also feel free to get in touch with us via our contact details on the screen if you wish to have a longer discussion about today's topic. So today, we have two relatively straightforward objectives. First, we want to outline the main takeaways we've learned from Qonnections 2018, the recent Qlik conference in Orlando, Florida. During this, we'll share our candid thoughts on the latest updates and product roadmap to let you know how these changes might impact your organization and current or future usage of Qlik. Before we get into the meat of today's presentation, I wanted to start with a quick introduction to Thorogood. For those of you who don't know Thorogood, we are an independent, global, professional services firm specializing in business intelligence and analytics strategies, solutions, and services, with a keen focus on our customers. We are a global company with offices in New York, Philadelphia, London, Bangalore, Singapore, and Sao Paulo, Brazil. All of our consultants are recruited and trained in the same way to develop a unique mix of skills, blending business understanding in the form of industry and functional experience with strong technical aptitude and a deep understanding of analytical tools and techniques. We offer a full range of BI and analytics services, including strategy and roadmaps, requirements, design, implementation, and training and support. Our clients typically span four data-rich verticals: consumer goods, pharmaceutical and health services, banking, and insurance. Our clients are some of the leading organizations in these sectors, and we take a lot of pride in the long-standing relationships we have fostered with some of the names you see here. These organizations are large, complex businesses, and we rely on our thorough business understanding and deep technical expertise to deliver successful solutions to their business challenges. In terms of the technologies we work with, we are an independent consulting firm, meaning we don't just work with one specific technology. We do, however, work and partner with many of the key players across the market in order to provide our clients with a solution that best suits their needs. Since we'll be talking about Qlik today, one of my personal favorite tools, I'll give a bit of background to our relationship with Qlik. We've been a partner for almost 10 years when the product suite really just included Qlik View. Since then, the company has expanded its offerings with products like Qlik Sense and endpointing. As Qlik consultants, we have a wide experience delivering business-driven solutions using Qlik and integrating with other leading BI tools like SAP BW, Microsoft, and Salesforce. For those of you a bit less familiar with Qlik, the platform is much more than just their flagship product, Qlik View. In the last few years, they've expanded their platform to include cloud offerings like Qlik Sense, the Qlik Analytics platform, and endpointing, all built on the same Qlik associative engine. And as we'll show during today's webcast, this platform and ecosystem is definitely evolving over the next few years. View is the proven software for which guided analytics applications with a large amount of properties for developers to tailor the application to the specific user needs. Qlik Sense, a relative newcomer, is the next generation self-service data visualization application. The drag-and-drop framework allows all users to create their own visualizations on top of the associated Qlik data model that everyone knows and loves. This really puts more power in the hands of the end users. Finally, endpointing rounds out the platform to provide structured, formatted office reports on top of the Qlik View or Qlik Sense models. If you're interested in seeing any of these tools in more detail, please reach out to me and I can set up a detailed demo for you. So, after reflecting on the Qlik conference, we've summarized 5 key topics that were given a lot of focus during the general sessions and presentations at the event. We'll cover each of these in more detail, but I wanted to outline them all here first. First, a main point that was mentioned throughout most of the general sessions is Qlik's multi-cloud strategy to help streamline the transition from on-prem to cloud with a few button clicks. Second, as you might have expected, they shared their roadmap for Qlik Sense, including some end-user functionality to provide additional visualization and analytics options within Sense. Third, of course, Qlik reinforced its focus on the flagship product, Qlik View. In addition, Qlik has introduced a new product called Qlik Core, intended to open up the Qlik associative engine for better integration with existing or new web applications. And finally, with a forward focus on AI and IoT, how AI and IoT are changing business intelligence, Qlik is looking ahead and integrating some of these themes into their platform. From the recap of the conference from Qlik, they mentioned their multi-cloud strategy as one of their main takeaways. So what does this mean? The Qlik multi-cloud strategy means that they are focused on creating a flexible, cloud-based, and container-based architecture. This allows you to easily and economically scale across multiple on-prem and public or private cloud environments. In the upcoming June 2018 release of Qlik Sense, you will now have the ability to publish directly into your enterprise cloud infrastructure. In addition, the management of apps and content across multiple environments will become easier for the admins to manage and ensure that the storage and space is being used efficiently and effectively. Finally, with just a few clicks, you can move your Qlik content between on-prem and cloud environments, better facilitating your cloud migration. So, what can you gain from this, and why would you bother? Well, we found that a number of our customers have an IT strategy that includes ambitions to move to the cloud or execute a hybrid cloud architecture. Qlik is focused on making this easier and allowing you to gradually move to the cloud in multiple steps. For example, you can decide where you want to store your data and application. You may have security concerns about one particular application with personal data, for example. This approach allows you to keep this app in your on-prem server and deploy your other applications to the cloud. Alternatively, you may find out that you're running out of capacity in your on-prem environment. Here, now, you can easily move new apps to the cloud rather than paying for the expansion of the on-prem server. Overall, this allows you to spend your infrastructure money more wisely and decide exactly where you need to invest in analytics and storage capacity. Throughout all of this, the focus is to make a seamless user interface for end users and admins, so everyone can benefit from the value of cloud computing without being bogged down by the details. Okay, now I wanted to shift focus a little bit to talk about the functionality added to Qlik Sense. The best way to showcase this is through a demo, so we'll switch over and pull up Qlik Sense Desktop. There was a recent release in April 2018, which perfectly aligned with the timing of the conference. So we'll be showing some of our favorite pieces of functionality from this latest release. I'll now pass it over to Scott for him to walk us through the demo.
Thanks, Alli. So I'll pull up Qlik Sense here. And like Alli mentioned, I'm going to be showing a demo of Qlik Sense. So for the purpose of this demo, I'll imagine myself as an analyst in a marketing department. And I'm particularly focused on our advertising within the U.S. For a CPG company that focuses on beverage sales. So in order to do my analysis, my department provided me with this advertising analysis dashboard. And across the top of my screen that you can see here, I have some general KPIs that can give me a high-level overview for the business and advertising performance within my company and specific to the U.S. Down the left-hand side, I have a set of filters. So I have things like company or brand segment or brands that can help me look at various slices of data in greater detail. Then I have a few charts across the center that I'm pretty familiar with in my advertising effective analysis that can help me dig into the data in a bit more detail. So on the kind of in the center here toward the left-hand side, I have this ad spend versus sales chart. So this is a scatter plot showing how various brands are performing in sales relative to the amount of advertising investment that our company is making. The right-hand side of the screen shows the advertising effectiveness chart, which is actually a map kind of showing two different things. So I have dollars of sales per dollar of advertising, and that's the area layer on the map. So if you look at like the individual states, that's what's being represented there. And that kind of shows how much I'm getting out of my advertising investment. And I also have on the same map the value of sales, which are these points or the circles, and the size actually represents how much in dollars I'm selling per state. So this map kind of highlights some of the valuable new mapping functionality, which was a part of the April 2018 updates that Alli had mentioned. So you can get an idea for multiple measures across geographic regions at a single time. You don't need to be flipping back and forth between multiple maps, referencing other tables or anything like that. Then lastly, across the bottom, I have sales per dollar of advertising over time. So this is a line chart, again, kind of showing the trend of ad effectiveness within my company. I can see from this view that I've had quite a significant dip in sales per dollar starting right around here in December of 2017. So I really want to dig in here and figure out what's going on. I want to figure out why I'm not getting as much per dollar of advertising as I had been doing in the past. So I can actually, I can drag across my line chart and just focus on that set of data. And as you're familiar with in Qlik, that'll filter all the other visualizations. So going up to my scatter plot, I've added reference lines for average spend on advertising and average sales. This can give me a good sense for my higher performers and lower performers. So I might be particularly interested in the top left quadrant here, where it seems like I've invested a good amount on advertising, but I'm not really seeing that much in sales. So, maybe I'll click on this and I'll use the lasso tool to select the ones in the top left quadrant and look into those in a little bit more detail. But even though the dashboard that I have here is pretty helpful, I'm thinking that we need to be a bit more coordinated on advertising. So, maybe making a dollar of advertising go a bit further by advertising across brands within a brand segment. This would be a little bit more of a coordinated approach. But my scatter plot, although it's pretty useful, it doesn't do much for me in terms of relative sizes of the segments. So I can see individual brands within those segments. I can see that it's colored by segment, but it doesn't give me a sense for kind of the higher level picture. And if I want to focus on the bigger segments or something like that, or bigger segments within a particular state or region, that would probably be something that would be helpful to know. But my issue is that I'm not quite as familiar with developing in this tool as some others in my CPG company. But I don't really want to wait for the dashboard to be completely redesigned to incorporate these new things. I really want the insights now. So to do that, I'm going to go into Edit. And a quick note, one of the other updates that's pretty interesting that Alli had mentioned as part of April 2018's release, the grid size is now adjustable. So I flipped over to this blank screen since you can adjust it before you added any charts. So you can actually flip the number of, I guess you could say pixels, number of boxes within the grid, if you want to have a little bit more detailed dashboards. So anyway, flipping back to my advertising analysis dashboard here, like I mentioned, I want to look at sales by segment in a bit more detail. So maybe I'll take this line chart and drag that over here. And like I said, I'm not too familiar with how to develop in here, but I said I want to look at sales, so right away I'll just go and drag on sales. And part of Qlik's cognitive engine, which is something they've been focusing on a lot recently, is figuring out the best visualizations for the measures that you're dragging on. So since I'm dragging on sales, kind of recognizes, this is a KPI. This is one measure, and how would I best want to look at that? Probably as a sum. So that's what it's showing me as a KPI. And then I also want to drag on brand. So I'll just drag that and drop it on top of that same chart, and automatically it flips to a bar chart, and it's automatically sorting by sum of sales. So I can see my higher selling products over on the left. Well, if I were not in edit mode, I can scroll to the right. Then lastly, as I mentioned, I want to look at brand segment, so I'll drag that on last. And it realizes, well, you want to look at relative sizes within a segment, and you also want to look at relative sizes of the segment. The best visualization for that is probably this tree map here. So it automatically creates the tree map for me. I'll drag it to make it the same size as the others. Maybe I'll add a title of sales by segment and brand. And then that's really all I need to do. I can click done, and I already have it incorporated as part of my dashboard. So, you can see here, since it's sorted by segment size, and I can just get a sense for the overall size, that water is my biggest segment. And if I remember when I was looking over at the scatter plot up on the top left, there was this data point particular to the scatter plot that's showing, for this particular water brand, I'm spending a lot in advertising, not getting a lot in sales. So, within a couple clicks, I'm already able to customize my dashboard, get some valuable insights, and identify some action items that I'll want to address going forward.
Cool stuff. Thanks, Scott. So, as Scott showed in the demo, there are a few exciting features in the April release of Qlik Sense. He showed the assisted data visualizations, where you can drag and drop fields onto the sheets, and the chart suggestions are made by the Qlik Cognitive Engine. In addition, he showed how the grid size updates will help streamline the development of sheets for a consistent user experience. Also, a fair amount of improvements have been done on the maps, with support now for multiple layers, data labels, and a quick lookup of geographical areas like countries, divisions, cities, and postal codes. Finally, you can now publish any app from the hub, which gives more publishing control to end users and removes the need for end user access to QMC. Looking forward, Qlik has outlined a product roadmap for Sense for the next 6 months, 12 months, and 24 months, with a 10-week release schedule. After some recent focus during the previous releases on the back-end engine, APIs, and architecture enhancements, Qlik is shifting focus back to adding more to the front-end functionality for the end users. They've been listening to feedback from customers and partners and are working to add new pieces of functionality to the front-end tool. From visualizations to data prep to advanced authoring, there are a number of things to be excited about. We can't possibly cover their entire roadmap in this amount of time, so I'll just mention a few things we're most looking forward to. In the next 6 months, Qlik Sense is introducing Insight Advisor, which will allow users to preview a new data source in Sense and see suggested visualizations and insights from the data set itself. Second, Qlik Sense will look to support buttons that can perform a variety of types of actions. This is something used in many Qlik View applications and will be a welcome enhancement to the Sense product. I'm guessing that we will see additional pieces of functionality be translated like this from Qlik View into Qlik Sense. Also, to facilitate collaboration, you'll be able to follow specific pieces of content and share individual charts over email to provide commentary and draw upon actionable insights. Finally, for anyone using the mobile app, there are a number of planned enhancements for both the iOS and Android applications. Looking ahead 12 months, there will be a general release for the Associative Big Data Index, a new cloud service which will allow Qlik to pull information from large data stores like data lakes or Hadoop without needing to load all of the records in memory. As you might expect, there will also be front-end customizations, including flexibility with tooltips and labeling, and new sliders and calendar inputs. In addition, natural language search will be added to Sense, further enhancing the self-service usability of the tool. And within the next 24 months, Qlik has an ambitious roadmap across a wide variety of themes and avenues. I'm excited to see the currency translation, comparative analysis, and dynamic grouping as enhancements to the Sense product. In addition, alerts and workflow will add new ways of interacting with your Qlik apps and streamline the actions through the sharing of charts, sheets, and stories. In addition to the items I mentioned here, there are many new enhancements in terms of data connectors, MultiCloud architecture, Qlik Analytics platform, data market, and endpointing. Please reach out to us if you are interested in a specific aspect of the roadmap, and we're happy to provide more details or put you in touch with a Qlik representative. Also, if you'd like to see a specific enhancement or improvement, let us know, and we can provide our feedback to our partner manager and various Qlik contacts. Of course, even with all the talk about Qlik Sense, Qlik remains committed to their core product, Qlik View. Qlik knows that a majority of their customers still have insightful, business-driven applications in Qlik View, and they definitely don't plan on discontinuing this product anytime soon. Any investment you made in Qlik View will continue to be valuable with yearly updates and product enhancements. The latest release from November 2017 includes advanced analytics integration with things like R and Python. In addition, updates to the web client for accessing reports through Access Point allow users to change the UI language and detach chart objects from each other to segregate the filters that are applied. Now, XLSX is the default format when exporting to Excel, replacing the previous XLS format. Finally, there have been some updates to how single quotes and double quotes are interpreted in the set analysis expressions, as well as some general performance and management enhancements in QMC. In 2018, the plan is to continue the commitment to the core product with additional enhancements. Alongside this, Qlik is looking to bring Qlik View and Qlik Sense closer together, making it easier to migrate from one to another. There will be a single license model where a Qlik View license can be used for Qlik Sense. In addition, there will be a single access point where end users can see and access Qlik View applications in the same Qlik Sense hub, making it easier to see all of your applications in one location. Finally, updates to Qlik Server will help align to the multi-cloud architecture and allow for easier deployments to on-prem or cloud server. So, now this was brief, but it covers some of the major updates for the two tools that you are probably most familiar with, Qlik View and Qlik Sense. At Qonnections, Qlik also introduced a new product offering, Qlik Core, and I'll pass it over to Scott to discuss this in more detail.
Thanks, Alli. So like Alli mentioned, Qlik Core is a new offering, so it's probably pretty valuable to understand exactly what it is. So Qlik Core is a lightweight Qix engine that's able to exist as its own entity, and this is made possible through ease of integration with open source and container-based technologies such as Linux, Docker, and Kubernetes. But what does it do? Well, it's focused mostly on use by developers, but it exposes the Qix engine, which is Qlik's associative engine, by itself for use by other applications built across nearly any technology. Now that we have an understanding for kind of what it is, why is it helpful? Well, the traditional development lifecycle for Qlik applications in either Qlik View or Qlik Sense includes bringing all of your data, all of your logic, everything like that, into your Qlik application. And this is all accessed through your hub, which is really helpful in terms of having a single central location for all your BI applications, and you get the benefit of having a data model handled by Qlik's powerful associative engine. But maybe you have or are looking to build other apps that handle some business processes, such as data entry or data management web apps, something like that, and you're trying to enhance decision-making during these business processes by providing some data context using the power of Qlik. And rather than trying to bake this logic into Qlik View or Qlik Sense, why not bake the power of the associative engine into your app? So you can now support the data model sitting behind these applications through the Qix engine that we're all familiar with, and you can also really cut down on time to value for building applications, because rather than trying to custom build all the data relationships and kind of reinvent the wheel, why not let Qlik Core handle that for you? So we do have a quick demo that was actually built by Qlik, just to give people a sense for what Qlik Core can look like and what it's like to be hands-on with Qlik Core. So I'll pull that up here. And this is actually available for everyone to explore at app.qlikcore.com. So this is what we're looking at here is an open source web app that leverages the power of the Qix engine's data associations. So we have an app directed mostly at medical professionals, and it can help us understand data we've collected around drug reactions and some side effects. But notice we have like filters on the left-hand side, and we can look at various slices of data, so we can select, age range, something like that, and perform our various filtering. And then we can also filter by clicking on the visualizations themselves, and you can notice all the cross-filtering across visualizations. So as you can see, it's actually pretty similar in feel to Qlik View and Qlik Sense. And the reason for this is that this app was actually built on Qlik's open source JavaScript libraries, including Picasso, Enigma, Halyard, and Afterwork. But it's actually not necessary to even use these libraries. So if you don't want it to feel like Qlik Sense, it can integrate just as smoothly with web apps built on other open source libraries or frameworks. So that was a quick overview of Qlik Core, and we've seen an overview of all the new functionality and offerings available to us through the Qlik platform. We also want to take a look at what Qlik will be focusing on coming down the line. And I'll put this in terms of Qlik's 3 core pillars of innovation, which are data, platform, and analytics. So under data, the messaging that Qlik has really put forward is leave data where it is. So you might have all types of data available in the business. You could have some enterprise data sources that are heavily managed by IT. You might have some of your own data sources, including some mapping, some parameters, some of your custom calculations. and you're maintaining these in your own files. And then you probably have access to some sort of big data sources. And previously, it could have been pretty difficult to try to integrate all these different types of sources into a single application. But the focus from Qlik going forward is on simplifying and streamlining this process. And Qlik's also been focusing on the Big Data Index, which Alli kind of mentioned earlier, which allows storage of higher-level information about big or distributed data sources to get some more responsiveness without needing to load the entire data set into memory to work with. The next kind of core pillar of innovation is platform. So again, the overall message here is a true multi-cloud platform, which is something we had kind of touched on throughout the webcast. So with all the different types of data sources, we probably want to handle them in some different ways. You might look to cloud for rapidly scaling your storage, and you might want to keep your sensitive data locked down on-prem. You also might have some analytical models deployed to the cloud, and you might have others that are in specific areas of the business, and you might have legacy reports built on-prem, and you've just started developing cloud-based web apps that are accessible even to maybe people outside of your organization. So essentially, Qlik's focus on platform is to make a single, simple platform that can work with your business no matter what your answers to these three questions here are. Then kind of the last pillar is analytics, and Qlik's kind of looking to span the spectrum of analytical maturity from BI to augmented intelligence. They're also looking to empower individual users by reducing barriers to entry of necessary development knowledge to be able to use tools like QlikSense. They're doing this by using AI to recommend everything from data joins and data models based on the data sources that you're bringing in to useful visualizations that will help draw out statistically significant insights that Qlik is actually automatically detecting in your data. So they're pouring some major investments into the new cognitive engine. So we expect that there'll be many exciting updates coming on down the line. So in summary, we've learned quite a bit from Qonnections 2018, and we tried to narrow this down to our 5 biggest takeaways. First, we discussed how Qlik is focusing on a multi-cloud architecture, promoting flexibility, and promoting the choice between on-prem and cloud servers. Next, we demoed some cool features in QlikSense, and we talked about the roadmap for powerful new functionality for end users, which will be released in 10-week release cycles. We also underlined Qlik's continued commitment to QlikView with yearly releases and better integration with migrating apps to Sense. Then we introduced a new product, Qlik Core, which is the lightweight offering of the containerized Qix engine that can be used to leverage the power of the Qlik data associations in nearly any environment. I've also put our contact information on the screen here, so please feel free to reach out directly if you're interested in more details. Thank you very much, and have a nice day.